Hello, my name is Claudia and welcome to my channel where we talk about beauty topics as well as anything kind of medical school or student life related. And I didn't really feel like doing much on my face today. It's kind of late in the afternoon and I wanted to get some stuff done around the house. So I thought it would be a good idea to talk about the makeup that I wore to my medical school interviews. I know that application season is kind of picking up and I thought that this could be a nice video to have tucked away for people who are looking for ideas for later on during the year when when interviews are starting up again, even if they're going to be on Zoom or whatnot. I really hope that this is helpful and maybe gives you guys some tips and tricks, or maybe just some things to think about. I started this off barefaced because I really wanted to get the idea across beforehand that you don't need to wear makeup not just to a medical school interview, but to an interview in general. I wear makeup because it helps me feel my best and helps me feel like I'm putting my best foot forward, but that's more of an internal feeling, right? It's all about what makes you feel confident. And at the end of the day, if that is some blush and highlighter, amazing. And if that is just your beautiful bare-faced and your hair brushed and pulled back, like amazing. And I really want to encourage you to make sure that you are doing what makes you feel your best and your most comfortable. I'm going to pull my hair back quickly. Okay, so I pulled my hair back. I really should have pulled my hair back to start with, especially because now that I've got some bangs, I would never go to an interview with my hair in my face or in a way that I would be fiddling with it. And so before I even get to makeup, you can see my dog Bella in the background. She's kind of my little shadow, so I hope she's not too distracting. Anyways, sorry. I have my hair pulled back, and I would kind of do that anyways regardless if you've got long hair, but especially if you have bangs or known to kind of mess with your hair. And so when I was thinking about my makeup the night before on my first interview, I was really trying to think about what would be the easiest thing for me to do. And I really wanted to have my makeup centered around this idea of just being unremarkable. And while that may sound kind of strange, I really didn't want my makeup to be anything worth noting. I wanted to feel fresh and confident in what makes me feel confident, but I also didn't want to risk having any sort of makeup that I felt like I could mess up if my hands were shaky, because the mornings before an interview, I'm really my most nervous. I actually feel pretty good during my interviews. It's right before. And so I didn't want to risk, doing eyeliner or even mascara and getting mascara all over my eyelid and feeling like, I need to rush and wash my face. And so this is just kind of what I came up with and what I continued to wear for all of my other interviews. Oh, my nose is itching me. And so without further ado, let's get started. I am going to start off with a little bit of tinted moisturizer. Obviously, I wouldn't be wearing a t-shirt to my interview, but my suit is needing to be dry cleaned ever since I last wore it. My most recent interview was in March, and it's actually the school I ended up getting into. But by the time I came back, it was kind of when, at least in the United States, things with the coronavirus were really starting to take off. And even though laundromats or dry cleaners weren't closed down, I just felt like it was a wiser choice to not take it and not go out if I didn't need to, and I wasn't going to be needing my suit anytime soon. So of course, for an interview, I would recommend not a t-shirt, but a freshly pressed suit. I'm just gonna take the tinted moisturizer off my eyebrows. So I really like a tinted moisturizer because it can really help just kind of put a light wash of coverage over my face and maybe reduce a little bit of redness. Obviously, my skin's in pretty good condition right now. I don't really deal with a whole lot of breakouts, so if you need something more full coverage, do whatever is going to make you feel most comfortable. And I just use the NARS Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturizer in Finland. And I just kind of rub that in over my face. You're being distracting, my love. And I just kind of do a light wash of that over the face just to start off with. And then next what I'm going to do is just do a touch of concealer underneath my eyes. And I think I'm actually going to go in with my Charlotte Tilbury, gosh, why do I always forget what this is called? It's just an under eye corrector, a light peach color. And I think I used this for some of my interviews. I had 4 this year, but I don't think I had it in time for the first one. And I'm just going to do a small little touch of that underneath the eyes. I don't want to do too much underneath my eyes because I don't plan on putting any sort of powder. And so I don't want to risk piling on products and then it creasing. And next I'm going to go into the NARS, oh my goodness, why am I like this? It's just a little potted concealer, and I'm going in with vanilla. And I'm just going to take my concealer brush and I'm going to dot just a touch of it underneath my eyes with a brush. And just really blend that in. And take a little bit of it onto the eyes. Yes. And my goal is just to look awake and fresh. I really don't want anything crazy coverage. And I'm really going in with the smallest amount. Oh my gosh. I guess I should go take my doggy to the bathroom. So, short recess. Okay, so we're back. All I did was run a little spoolie through my brows before I went downstairs so I wouldn't look crazy. So next I'm going to go in with bronzer. And by the way, all the products I'm using, they're just the products that I have. This makeup look is so simple and is so easily translatable with whatever products that you have at home. So please don't feel the need to go out and buy anything, especially right now when times are tough and things are all kind of up in the air. Use what you have. So the bronzer that I'm going to go in with is the Hourglass bronzer. I've had this one for a while, and it's just the diffused bronze light in Ambient. And what I'm going to do is I'm not going to try and do anything too extreme or too bronzy. I really just want to add a little bit of color to the face, especially after I put on tinted moisturizer or concealer. I feel like I look very flat. And I'm just gonna add a touch of this just to add some life and some warmth to the face. And put that just along the edges of my face and a bit on the cheeks. And on a regular basis, or when I do put on my makeup on a regular basis, I'll probably actually go in with a bit of a heavier hand with my bronzer than I did for my interviews because I really wanted to make sure that I wouldn't have the situation where I would get into my car and be like, oh my gosh, like I just look orange or I put on way too much. And this hasn't really ever happened before that I got into the car and just felt like, oh my gosh. But when you're nervous and you're getting ready for something that's so important, for me, it just gives me peace of mind to make sure that I'm not going to do anything by accident that I would stress about at all. So as you can see, nothing crazy, just a light wash of color. Now, if you're going to be doing this on camera moving forward, obviously I'm not quite sure how, with the virus, how things are going to move forward. But you could always, of course, add a little bit more color onto your face if you want to. And what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to put just a touch of the MAC Paint Pot and Painterly on my eyelids, just to cancel out those veins, as well as I'm going to put on a cream shadow and some bronzer, and I really want to make sure that nothing is going to budge. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off back in my bronzer, just swirl in a bit, and I'm just going to run that through the crease. And then take what's on that brush still and run it through onto the lid. And I really just like to add a touch of that on my eyes. And I'll do this on days that I put on a touch of makeup, just because I think it helps balance the face, as well as it kind of pulls everything together, in my opinion. So just running that a bit through. I'm actually going to switch brushes and just really pull that into the crease and underneath the eye, and really just blend that out. Okay, so next I'm going to take the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize in Marie Antoinette, and I'm just going to take a touch of this. As you can see, it's kind of this taupey color, more, I guess, like a taupey antique bronze kind of shade. It's got a nice little sheen. And I'm just going to use the smallest bit onto my lids. And I find that if I don't use any sort of eye primer and I use too much, this can definitely crease on me, but anything I use creases on me. And I'm just going to pop a little bit of that on and then go in with a clean finger and blend it out. And the reason why I don't use my finger with the product on it to blend it out is because I don't want to necessarily add more product unless, as I'm blending, I think that I could use it, because I really am not wanting any sort of darkness or intense shimmer on the eye. I'm really just adding a touch of something on, and you could use any shimmer that you have, and you don't have to use a cream product. I just quite like them because I find that they can look a little bit more natural. So as you can see, nothing crazy on the eyes. And that's actually where I'm going to leave the eyes. I'm not going to add any sort of eyeliner because, like I said, I really want my makeup to look unremarkable, right? It's not that I'm trying to pretend like I'm not wearing makeup or look like I'm doing a no makeup look. But I don't want my hands to get shaky with my eyeliner. You know, I feel pretty decent at eyeliner, but it's always that scary thing where, like, oh my gosh, is this gonna go terribly wrong? So all I'm gonna do is curl my eyelashes and move on to the rest of my face. Okay, so the eyelashes are curled. They probably won't stay quite that way, but that's okay. Like I said, I'm not trying to add too much of a focus. I just wanted to add a little bit of something. So next, what I'm going to do is just take a touch of that bronzer down my nose. I actually forgot to do this earlier. And I'm not trying to contour my nose, so to speak, but just add a touch of shape back, or just that way it doesn't look so flat, with the tinted moisturizer that's been placed on top. And next I am going to go into my brows, and I'm just going to go in and brush them up. And the reason why I always brush them with a clean spoolie before I go in with any product is I don't want to use any sort of product to help push them into place. I'm really just wanting to use the product to set them in place. Because as I've said, with my brows being a bit thicker, things can get goopy really, really quick. And so I kind of do everything I can to prevent that. And I'm just going to go in with my Hourglass in Soft Brunette and add just a touch of this through my brows. Nothing crazy, like so. And I'm gonna go in with my other onto the other side. And normally I may put in a touch more than I am right now, but at the end of the day, your makeup doesn't matter, right? They're there to talk about you and to learn about you. They don't care whether you're wearing makeup or not. And that's really not what is going to make the difference in your application or whether you get admitted. So really, truly do what makes you feel happy and confident. And the things that I thought about were more so in my head just to really err on the side of caution as far as making sure that I don't end up stressing myself out over something as small and insignificant as running late because my eyeliner messed up. And I'm just going to take a clear brow gel and run it through just to set them in place. Without fail, I may not wear makeup every day, but I will every single day run clear brow gel through my brows. Now, my honest recommendation would be that you do keep your makeup more muted for your interviews, only because you don't have to worry about it, and just to make sure that it's not something that is or could be the focal point of your interview. So far, nothing crazy going on. And I'm going to go in with blush next. I'm going to go in with the Honest Beauty blush in Rose Pink. Just a nice muted peach shade. And I'm going to do just a touch of this on. I am someone who likes to be very heavy-handed with my blush. But for my interviews, I really wanted to keep it very soft and understated, like with everything else. Sorry if I sound like a broken record. So I'm gonna do next a little bit of highlighter, and this is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Pearl. I got this on sale because I had one previously that I would use regularly, and it's just a very soft highlight. A touch to my nose, like so. And I'm actually just going to take a small mirror and make sure that it is all blended. Okay. And that's going to be it as far as the face. Super simple, super easy. I'm just going to kind of go in with my blending brush, and at least on camera, it looks like I've got a weird gap there. And I'm just going to make sure everything is soft and blended out. And I'm going to spray my face with my Urban Decay All Nighter. Okay, and then finally, I am going to do a touch of lips. Now, I don't bother bringing my lip products with me, and I don't really care if it fades. I just want to do something small, that way I have a touch of something on that even as it fades, it'll be just a light wash of color. I'm going to take a lip liner, just in a simple nude, and I'm just going to line my lips quickly. And next I'm going to go in with just almost like a little bit of a tinted balm. And this is the Afterglow Lip Balm, just in the original color. And you can see it's basically gone. I'm just gonna use that tip. I wanted to use it just for the sake of keeping it consistent with what I wore. And I really like this because it can just add a nice wash of pink. And I'm gonna take down my hair. But for my actual interview, I would keep it up. But just to chat, wanted to pull it down. It wasn't the best updo. And that is the finished look. As you can see, it's really nothing crazy, and it's very simple, and it's because there's nothing too remarkable about the look. It is super easy to exchange any of the products that I've used with whatever you have, and you know, the shades that are most suitable for you. And I really wanted to end on the note of, regardless of your makeup, regardless of your outfit, the best thing that you can do to be prepared for your interview is just to, you know, practice what you want to talk about. Really do everything that you can to be prepared, and as well as do everything that you can to have a clear mind going in as much as possible, and to remember that you are enough, and nothing on your transcripts or in their portfolio could ever fully visualize the incredible and fully rounded person you are. And in your interviews, the most important thing is to be yourself and try your best to be your most confident self, right? Because you already made it to an interview, and you know, at that point, they really just want to see who you are. And so I would recommend that you do everything you can to show them that, even though it's a nerve-wracking experience, you know, you are already qualified to be there if you are there. And, you know, take that as an accomplishment on its own. I have applied, or this was my second time applying that I got in, but I had already been kind of rearing and planning in my head to have to reapply. So trust me, I know as well as anyone how stressful that this situation is. And so my heart really goes out to all of you that are reapplying in this crazy state of the world. But I hope that this was entertaining and hopefully useful. And don't worry, you will get through this. You gotta just keep on pushing. Have a great day. Thank you so much. If this was something that you enjoyed, please hit that like button and consider subscribing. Have a great day. Bye.